Fasting in the Catechism of the Catholic Church is defined as follows, and I quote, "Fasting is refraining from food and drink as an expression of interior penance, in imitation of the fast of Jesus for 40 days in the desert. Fasting is an ascetical practice recommended in Scripture and in the writings of the Church Fathers. It is sometimes prescribed by a precept of the Church, especially during the liturgical season of Lent, which we just completed." But what actually is fasting? Fasting differs in Catholic mentality from that of Islamic mentality. In Catholic mentality, fasting actually is more of an extension of certain foods rather than an absence of food and drink altogether. Fasting in the Roman Catholic mentality means that one does not eat meat on certain fast days of the year. Those days, meaning there are actually only two: Ash Wednesday, the day that Lent begins, and Good Friday, the day commemorating the death of Christ on the cross. Fasting, meaning refraining from certain foods, meaning meat, is also recommended on the Fridays of Lent. But the Catholic Church is more than just the Roman Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is actually a communion of 23 churches, all united with Rome. And in the Greek Catholic world, where I dwell, fasting, our mentality towards fasting differs from our Roman Catholic brothers and sisters, in that we interpret that abstention from certain foods to mean during the fasting periods, and we have 5 fasting periods during our liturgical year, we do not eat anything from an animal. That is, no meat or dairy products during the fasting periods. And we do this in imitation of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Paradise, because in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, there is no mention of them eating meat until after their fall, after the expulsion from paradise. While they're in paradise, they are vegans, and they are concentrating on their union with God, their closeness with God. And that's what we're supposed to be doing during these fasting periods as well. Fasting is not simply a physical aspect, it's also a spiritual aspect. As you in the Muslim faith will read the Quran and grow ever closer to God through those readings, so also will do Christians. And we are also to be abstaining not just simply from certain foods, but from certain acts, certain sinful acts. St. Basil the Great, for example, in one of his wonderful sermons, talks about, what does it profit you if you don't eat a morsel of meat during the entirety of Lent and continue to devour your brother and sisters with your tongue through gossip and slander? So fasting is a multi-complexual concept, not only physical, but most especially spiritual. I wish you a blessed Ramadan.